What's happening? Landlord from Alabama here, back with another video. And today, man, we finna talk about this first preseason game. Hey, this the first step for us to win it all. Man, we finally got some Cowboy football. Let's go. Okay, first thing first, we gotta talk about all these flags. It was flag football. We had to break some kind of record for all these flags we had out there. They was left and right. Mike McCarthy gonna have to get this under control. It is no excuses. I understand it's just preseason. It's a lot of young players out there learning, but all of these flags is not what you wanna see from your team. We just gonna have to do better. But now let's talk about this quarterback situation, man. Cooper Rush was really looking bad, man. It was another rough performance by Mr. Cooper Rush, man. He could not handle the rush. I feel sorry for the wide receivers because his play was so terrible that we really couldn't even get to evaluate them at all. But from reevaluating the game, it was obvious that Cooper Rush was playing the game not to lose his job instead of playing the game to win. He was being very cautious and very conservative out there. He was not driving the ball down the field. He was just check down Charlie, left and right, dink and dunk, and that's not gonna help your receivers at all. You know it's bad when Ben DiNucci is the player that had to come in and give us a little excitement, give us a glimmer of hope, even though he wasn't much better, but it was at least entertaining and exciting. Ben DiNucci at least threw the ball down the field and gave his receivers a chance. He was actually looking a little better than he was in the previous year. Now let's talk about this offensive line play, and your boy Josh Ball had another rough showing. I understand it's unfair to be on the offensive line because you can win most of the reps, but as soon as you mess up, everybody want to talk about that. They don't highlight your good plays, but when you protecting the most valuable asset on most teams, which is the quarterback, is very, very little room for error. All it takes is one bad rep, one missed assignment, and boom, just like that, your quarterback, your franchise guy, is out for the season with just one mistake. But he had a real bad sequence. I believe most of it was on one drive. He let the defensive lineman Browner, he did a nice little spin move and got the sack. Then he got another batted ball, and this was all on Josh Ball. It was on his watch. Josh Ball gonna have to get it together. We putting him in the fire. This is the best time for him to improve. Now the rookie Tyler Smith, he had a few penalties, but from what I seen, Tyler Smith was a monster out there. He was moving people left and right. I didn't really see him get bullied at all. I seen him getting in trouble a little bit trying to help Josh Ball. But two of those holding calls, in my opinion, was just bad calls. Tyler Smith really just beat his opponent and just dominated him, to be honest. But one of those calls was legit. He did just downright hold a guy. But on one play, he did show his youth. He missed his assignment, and the defensive lineman got around him and hit Cooper Rush. That's what caused the interception, but that's all fixable. That's just him being inexperienced in his offense. And overall, I like what I seen out of Tyler Smith. With the subpar play from the offensive line as a whole, the running game didn't really make too much noise. Rico got in, but he didn't do too much. It wasn't many opportunities for holes out there when he was in the game, but in the second half, Malik Davis looked pretty good. I like what I seen from him. He was hitting the hole. He had some bursts coming through them tackles, man. I like what I seen from Malik Davis. He got like 5-6 yards of carry on those few attempts he got, so he made the most of his opportunities. I like what I seen from Malik Davis. Now the wide receivers, they was just trying their little heart out with what they was working with. With the terrible player Cooper Rush, the wide receivers wasn't able to get evaluated for real. They didn't even get a real fast shot, but we still seen a couple of them make the best out of their opportunities. We seen Dennis Houston do a nice crisp route and made a nice play. I believe that was on third down. That was big. I'm glad I at least got to see Dennis Houston do something. Later on in the game, even though it was kind of garbage time, we seen Semi Fehoko catch a touchdown. that was still big for Simmons. At least we got to see him make some kind of noise. Now the rookie Jalen Tolbert, I like what I seen from him too. He did draw a PI flag, and he also made a couple of nice catches throughout the game. Jalen Tolbert was doing his thing. That's nice to see that coming from the rookie. Now let's talk about this defense. And right out the gate, you seen that boy Neville Gallimore burst on the screen, did a nice play, and got a tackle for loss. That was very impressive by Neville, man. He looks like he just dominated the offensive lineman and just burst on the scene and just crushed the running back. That was a great play by Neville Gallimore. But my boy Dante Fowler, number 56, he was looking very explosive coming off that edge. I like what I seen from Dante Fowler. He put a big hit on the quarterback, and I seen a little toughness. He was fighting for his teammates. That's exactly what we need on this team. Now let's talk about the linebacker position. I was pretty bummed out that Jabril didn't get no run. I don't know what they doing. They probably trying to be safe, but my boy Story Jackson, number 47, I seen him out there making some noise. He had a tackle on back-to-back plays. Then he made a big-time hit on one of the wide receivers. So Story Jackson looked like he was doing his thing out there, man. I'm glad to see him get a little run. Then we got to see Devin Harper, number 50, the rookie. He made some decent plays out there. I even seen him coming off the edge, so I'm glad to see him get some run. It was nice to see them young guys get their opportunities out there on the field. Now let's talk about the DBs. And you already know my boy Nation Wright, man. He had a roller coaster game. He was balling out early. I even tweeted it. But then it started going downhill. He ended up getting some big catches made on him. But he was coming up laying the wood too, man. So I like what I seen from him overall. He had a pretty solid showing. You know he gonna have to go through the fire. You know he gonna have some growing pains. He's still a real young player. We need to see him develop, and that's the only way he can develop is going out there taking his lumps and understand what he need to do to get better and grow from that. So I like what I seen from Nation Wright as a whole. Our boy Boss Man Fat, Kelvin Joseph, he was pretty much struggling again, man. I really hate it, man. I'm pulling for him. I really like his skill set, but he really reminds me of Cheeto Awuzie, man, cause he be in perfect position. He be right there all over the person in his hip pocket, but yet and still some way the wide receiver still makes the play. He still ends up making the catch, and that's exactly how Kelvin Joseph was, and that was pretty much the story for Kelvin Joseph throughout the game. But in my opinion, one of the best players that was out there that I seen that was jumping off the tape consistently was Deron Bland, man. That boy from Fresno State, the 5th round pick, he looked like a steal. He was making plays left and right. He was all over the field. He was laying the wood. I seen him make a couple of big time hits. I'm really excited to see him in this next preseason game. He was outstanding. I like everything I seen from Deron Bland, man. He looks like he could be a steal, a big time pickup out of Fresno State. It looks like Will McClay might have did it again. But overall, I know this just preseason, so don't get too excited or don't get too down on your team. The objective is to let your young players grow and develop and get some run, build a little confidence to see what we got in these players, and hopefully everybody stay healthy. I believe we came out pretty clean, so that's a good thing. That's a good sign. So I like what I seen from the team without none of our starters, so just chill out and calm down. We will be fine. But that's all I got for you today, man. Just holla at your boy, Landlord from Alabama, with the same handle on all social media. And like I say, 1K, 1 love, Cowboys Nation. Let's go.